Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercut!
Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Now today I'm making a video about a video. What I mean by that is I recently uploaded a channel update video, and on there I mentioned I wanted to focus more on the VHS format, you know, for films and what have you, reviews and so forth. So here we go. Here's one now. So today I'm doing a review / retrospective on the film Class of Nuke Em High. Yes, as you can probably tell by the big box, it is an X-rental. I love the artwork, you know, the artwork there, it's a little gory and stuff. Very good. And on there you can see, you know, another eye-catching imagery and so on. But also, I didn't do this, but there's a big tear in the middle there. I got this second hand. There's no stickers on the tape, apart from there's a bit there, a bit of residue there from one. I don't know, maybe. No, I guess someone took it off at some point. Anyway, put that back in there. It's not fitting properly. It's all live, folks. Anything could happen. There we go. So I remember picking this up last year, April last year, I think it was. With, you know, a charity shop. I used to go to quite a lot because I had loads of videos in. Not so much now. I've picked up with about 4 or 5 others, maybe 6 others, X-rentals. It was a very good day. That's all I'm saying. For very low price as well. I couldn't believe it. I got it. This was, out of a lot of them, this was the worst condition in terms of the casing. That I say, with the big hole there, big gap, and you can probably, I don't know if you can see, it's a bit of grime right in the corner there, a little bit. I mean, I've got rid of most of it, but I couldn't pass it up, you know, because it's Troma, and anyone who knows me, you know, and watch me videos on here, you know, probably know I like my Troma films and so on. And I was thinking, let's kill 2 birds with one stone here, because you know, I've not done a Troma film review for a while. I haven't done any video review, VHS reviews for a while. So you know, like I say, so this is gonna be it. So with rental videotapes, you get like trailers before the main feature, and you know, it's always good to look at these things. Growing up with video and whatever, you know, seeing all the things, it harks back to a time when, you know, the films come out. I mean, it's a very nostalgic thing for me. So you know, that's when I do the X-rental, you know, video reviews, I will talk about the the trailers beforehand and so forth, on what I make of them. So without further ado, these are the trailers that are before the main feature. I've just made some notes here. There's only 3 of them, I think. You've got a film called 315, which looks like a violent action thriller with all fighting in. It's very typical mid-80s action film and so forth. Don't really star for anyone of fame, because it's usually Michael Dudikoff or someone like that, you know. But there's no mention of any names, so I'm guessing it's just a very kind of, you know, Me Too kind of action film. But anyway, there's the next one is called Captive, which is another action thriller. Yeah, there's, you know, more of the same kind of thing. You know, they're just churning these out. This is back in the mid 80s. You know, I think this is issued 19. Don't think it says. I think I read it somewhere on the tape. Maybe it was made. This actual tape. Well, the film's 1986, but this tape, it doesn't have a date on it. Maybe a year or 2 after that one. I'm not too sure. I don't know, there can let me know in the comment section when, you know, you think this was released. So let's say Captive, yeah, typical action thriller kind of, you know, people with guns and that. But most bizarrely, the next one is a film called Toby McTeague, which, you know, what does that mean? I don't know. Some guy, I guess. But it looks like a corny family drama, underdog tale centered around dog sled racing. Yes, we've all, you know, with 80s power ballad in the background. So, you know, that's what we're dealing with. So anyone who's seen any of these films, I mean, I am intrigued with Toby McTeague. That's it. It's quite bizarre, really, because I thought, you know, because this is a, you know, Troma film, and, you know, there's lots of them and what have you. I thought they would have like had more Troma, you know, be like, you know, like trailers for the Troma films, but I don't know, there you go. So Class of Nuke Em High came out in 1986. It's directed by Lloyd Kaufman and Richard Haines. It stars Gilbert Brenton, Janelle Brady, who's no relation, and Rob Pritchard, and plus a whole host of other actors playing a lot of weird and wonderful characters from what you see in Troma films. So the story is Tromaville High School is located next to a nuclear power plant. Something happens at the power plant which then contaminates the water in the school, the nuclear waste and what have you. It causes a lot of the people to start acting and looking like very strange. Also, there's a group of pupils that buy contaminated drugs off one of the power plant workers, with horrific results. So you can probably gather that this shares a lot of similarities and themes with The Toxic Avenger. Lloyd Kaufman has gone on record to say he likes to sprinkle a bit of social commentary, within the film, whatever, to reflect the times and, talk about put things in there that mean a lot to him and what concern him and so forth. Just as I remember, just like to tell you, despite what I was talking about, the condition of the case, the tape actually played pretty well. I've seen worse. The first hour or so was a lot of tracking issues and so forth, and after an hour it kind of righted itself and so on. We've got about 3 VCRs in the house. I used the one without a remote control, so I couldn't adjust the tracking as I was going and so forth. But I followed it through. I mean, I've watched it a fair few times in the past and so forth. I have also got this, the Class of Nuke Em High box set with the first 3 films in. These have got commentaries and trailers and all deleted scenes and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I took the commentary from this, which I'll touch on in some parts later on in the film. For those out there who may not know this, Troma started life out in 1974. They began making sex comedies for the first few years, and in 1984 they released The Toxic Avenger, which was a massive success for them. That film set the groundwork for most of the output to this day, in terms of the genre, the tone, acting style, and the visual effects, things like that. And the following film after Toxic Avenger was this one, A Class of Nuke Em High, and this carried on the tradition of all the things I've just mentioned, but also harks back to the early sex comedies, as it uses a lot of the main characters that are from high school and so forth. As I said, I also watched the director's cut on the DVD, for Lloyd Kaufman's commentary. As you'd expect, there's a bit more gore in there and so forth, and a bit of nudity, so it's slightly longer than video cut, which is about 85 minutes long. It says 85 minutes long. I did also find out that the Swedish version is only 76 minutes long, so they must have been really offended by it. But the longest version, it's longer than the director's cut apparently, is the Japanese version, which runs at 96 minutes. As I mentioned on my video on Toxic Avenger 2, which the story does they go to Japan. It's because the Toxic Avenger films, really big in Japan, so I'm guessing they're more receptive to the blood and gore and so forth. So it's very, very fun. But the version that's on this video, the 85-minute version, is the one I do remember from back in the day, watching it again and again and again when I taped it off TV. It's one that I remember the most. For me, this film sets out the story and establishes the characters really nicely, including the motley crew of miscreants known as the Cretins, who are kind of like the big bad gang of the school. I mean, seriously, the school must have a very loose dress code, that's all I'm going to say. But fashion concerns aside, I mean, this film does a good job of the gang who fit in nicely with the Troma way of creating colourful characters. The Troma style of acting is present and correct here, and like Toxic Avenger, there's some Cronenbergian body horror on display, and there's some really icky stuff there. There's more on the director's cut, of which you'd expect. It also shares the themes of the perils of using toxic or nuclear waste on the effects of the environment. It also uses a lot of the same kind of prosthetics and makeup and what have you, and it also uses the solarization negative process whenever the transformation happens. For those of you who don't know what I mean, it's like this. Or something like that anyway. Just watch the films, you'll see what I mean. Plus, don't smoke weed, kids. Yes, Lloyd mentioned on the commentary several messages he wanted to put into the film. Plus also the inspirations behind the distant look of the Cretins. So really fascinating and fun, and it's another good commentary by Lloyd. So no, the film is not just about slime and breasts. I mean, although it does have quite a bit of both. It's not quite up there with Caligula, but there's enough in there to hold the attention of a teenage me. So the film for me is still very fun to watch. I like the central pairing of Warren and Chrissy, played by Gilbert Brenton and Janelle Brady, and I like the fat boy humour. There's quite a lot of that. Again, like I say, harks back to the early films, and also there's some possibly deliberate clunky exposition here and there as well. I also feel the final sequences when the cretins are at the school, on the motorbikes and so on, plus also the bits with the big creature, it's probably the strongest moments for me. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, I urge you all to watch it. So as much as I like this film, for the reasons I mentioned, I do prefer Toxic Avenger over it, because that film feels a bit more fresh, and it's better pace and whatever, and Nuke Em High just feels like it's going over similar ground too much. But still, it's a lot of fun. I recommend it to anyone. Just let me know what you feel. So those are my opinions. What's yours? Like I say, there's going to be more VHS reviews along the way. So anyway, if you've seen the film, what do you reckon of it and so forth, comment below, down all there. Like, subscribe, comment, and tell your friends and everything. And like the new Cyrus says, send the word.
9, 8, 7, 6,